Welcome to a new market update in which today in the morning update after the weekend we'll be discussing Bitcoin and Ethereum, as there's some confusion whether we are actually in a bull cycle or in a bear market, as some people are claiming that this is a relief rally and it's going to give us a correction towards 20k. But before we're going to continue with the market update, do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter and like and subscribe beneath, as that's helping me a lot. We are almost at 125k subscribers. Our path to 200k has started. I've also reached 400k followers on Twitter. Thank you for that. It's truly a blessing to have so many followers and having this amazing journey that is still going on inside this bull cycle, as I do not see a current bear cycle happening at this stage yet. Unless we're going to have a correction in the equity markets, as if they are going to turn around, which doesn't seem likely at this stage, but it's most likely going to happen within the next 6 to 9 months. But if that is going to take place, of course, the markets are going to feel some pain. But during the current momentum of the markets, we see altcoins breaking out left and right, while Bitcoin is just consolidating. And yes, we've just witnessed a very harsh correction on Bitcoin in which we collapsed from 52 to 42k. But since then, the price has been consolidating and altcoins have been firing. And if we remember correctly, the best nature for altcoins to live in is during a period where Bitcoin is consolidating. So right now we are not seeing the actual first real figures of a bear market, but we're just seeing that Bitcoin isn't going vertical upwards as we witnessed earlier this year and in 2017. We most likely are in a sideways structure. So when we're looking at the price action at this point, we can see that support is still holding, but we also know something different that we have to address here. The first topic that I want to bring up is the fact that we've got a golden cross. Does it sound that we're going to have a bull cycle after that? Well, probably most of the titles, including myself, will be calling for a bull cycle to take place, but the MAs and the golden cross and that cross are always lagging behind. So what you see in the structure here is that price cascaded south during May, in which it caused a death cross. But the death cross took place when the price was already around 30k and the actual crash occurred. Since then, price has been rallying upwards, while during the actual death cross, people were claiming that the markets were going to reach a new low, or at least 20k was to be expected, as a bear market was going to take place given historical information about death crosses and golden crosses. Right now, we're seeing the actual opposite. Price has been running upwards without any correction at all, causing a golden cross to be happening right now, and people start to claim it's a bull cycle. But it's no guarantee that we're actually going to get one. It's based on price action overall that you want to look at if you want to claim that it's a bull or a bear cycle. Next to that, we also have the bearish divergence that's still in play. We still might be seeing a continuation of that, but we do have some critical levels that we have to hold on to for Bitcoin at this stage. And when we're looking back in the price structure of Bitcoin, and to which period does it remind me that we've witnessed such a corrective move? Well, if we go back in the structure, we've also witnessed many of those corrections or harsh corrections in 2020. So during the periods of 2020, we've had many sideways consolidative periods before we started to accelerate upwards. The most remarkable correlation, or somehow same structure of price, is the actual breakout that we've witnessed here, or breakdown that we've witnessed here. We've retested some levels, and since then, price has been making a sideways structure for a few months before it started to run upwards once again, and that's when the actual bull cycle continued and when we ran from 12k to 60k. This retest here took place, and since then there was a sideways period, and I remember correctly that during that period people were anticipating a potential heavy correction to still be happening, while during sideways consolidation the trick of the markets is to get everyone out of the markets instead of inside the markets. The trick of a sideways period is to get everyone out of the markets, range-bound constructions, liquidity on both sides are getting trapped before we're going to reverse at all. What we also see in this structure is that we've had this retest, ran back up, retest the previous support, consolidation south, higher low constructed, some more consolidation, and then we started to run upwards. It's not entirely the same, but when we look at the current price action, we can see that we've had a beautiful retest here as well. Sideways action, harsh correction, retest and higher low created. And most likely, once we do sustain above 42k, most likely we are going to see just a similar sideways structure before we start to accelerate once again at the later stage of the year. And I think we're going to have a top of this cycle around my birthday next year in April, May. So the levels that we're going to look at, or the confusion that we currently have with bull or bear cycles, is completely normal as we are in between. However, the reaction that we have on the market currently with altcoins breaking out left and right in a very strong manner is not entirely what you expect from a bear cycle to be taking place. So back into support of the range low. This is the level that we should be holding with Bitcoin at this point. If that is lost, I think I'm going to look at the area around 38k next. So these are the levels that I'm looking at based on a daily time frame. So this is the support level, and also in the construction that we've witnessed in 2020, we did not lose crucial levels. So as long as Bitcoin stays above here, and we still have 38k of course, but as long as Bitcoin stays above here, we're actually fine and we're just holding on to it. We just had a very harsh corrective move based A on liquidity and B on leverage trading, which always causes a very deep wick. When we're looking at the lower time frames, we're currently seeing that we are in support. We potentially are making a falling wedge construction, no confirmation yet. But if we do get a slight bounce back up, you generally want to see a higher low being constructed, or at least 45k becoming support again. If that takes place, you will be seeing multiple bullish divergences on the altcoins to be taking place, including Bitcoin itself, and that is going to cause a breakout to the upside. If we clearly want to start running up, we have to break 47k. 47k is the critical level to break through. So if 47k breaks, I think we're going to accelerate somewhere towards 50k, as there's nothing in between. So rounding up Bitcoin at this stage, 43 to 44k has to hold. 47k is the critical resistance zone above us. 50k is the next level that we're going to see when we're holding up to it. Ethereum, not really something special that we have to say around here. We still have the resistance at 35.35. That entire region is still acting as one. We also know that around 3k is the very important support level. We are currently retesting the previous high for support, which is still sustaining as one. And when we're looking at the lower time frames, it's also chopperino time here. So when we're looking at the price structure, we do see this bounce back up. We might be generating ourselves a higher low, but most likely we're going to get a bounce towards 34 and then a final retest before we are going to reverse. So the levels that we should be watching for Ethereum as well is 3150 and 3k as support. And on the upside, we have to look at 3400 and as resistance also 35.35. Ethereum against Bitcoin, not much special. We are still seeing that we have been bouncing on this support level. We have been marking it as a very important support level, and currently we're holding on to it. If it loses support 0.71, not really anything to be happening at this stage, as long as Ethereum against Bitcoin stays above 0.066. We are still in a very much bull cycle, pretty much one, which is going to generate a new big breakout to the upside to be happening, as the impulse moves are still happening at this stage. And I think we are somewhere in this region when it comes to Ethereum against Bitcoin at this point. So Are we in a bull cycle? I think we are, but we are we are watching some critical levels to hold on to for support. If those survive as support, we're just fine. Should you be investing in some altcoins? I think you still have some opportunities to look for. Markets are still doing fine. And I hope you have enjoyed this update. I'll be back later today. Don't forget to subscribe beneath, and I'll see you again soon.